Mr. Ronald Menzel. Ronald is a serial entrepreneur and activist who has dedicated his life to imagining innovative projects where cutting-edge technology is used to create out-of-the-ordinary customer's experience. He co-founded Dreamscape, where he aims to introduce the next major platform shift in cinematic storytelling for applications such as entertainment, education, or simulation. His talk title is From Hollywood to the Metaverse: How Science Fiction Movies Predict the Future. Time to tighten your seatbelt now. Please welcome him to the stage.
Hello, so I'm the co-founder of Dreamscape. Dreamscape has its roots in Hollywood. And we are at the intersection of, if you want, movies and theme parks. We're bringing people in the future worlds. The buzzword of 2022 is the metaverse. Let me just take my take on, or the take of science fiction, of Hollywood on this buzzword. So first of all, as this is almost the last talk of the evening, let's make it a little bit fun. Let's make a game out of that. I'm going to offer a coffee to the person that is going to come after the conference and list all the movies I'm making a reference to. It can be images or it can be citations. So obviously the first one is easy. Why do I make a reference to the most famous cocktail of Hollywood? Well, I'm just going to use the same tricks as Hollywood does, which means suspense, and I'm only going to give you this answer at the end. But let me start by telling you how a movie changed my life. And I've done a lot of very different things in my life. I started in music production. Then when I was studying economics, I promised myself that I would never work in a bank, never work in a multinational company, never work in a German company, and guess what? I ended up at Deutsche Bank. I created at the beginning of internet e-commerce. And then after that, I retired the corporate world and I sailed around the seas. I created NGOs for the protection of the oceans. I did crazy projects. Actually, one crazy project happened here in Dubai when I brought an eagle at the top of Burj Khalifa with a camera on its back, and it was flying over Dubai and broadcasting live these images all around the world. More than 1 billion people saw that. I was asking myself, okay, what is the common denominator of all the things that I've done? And I think it has been how technology can improve user experience. I think this is something very important. So now, how did I get into VR? Two of my good friends developed a new technology and one day came and told me, okay, you need to see that. Okay, so I went to their studio, put a VR headset on, put some markers on my hands and on my feet, and suddenly I stepped into the tomb of Tutankhamun. I was not only seeing it, but I could walk, I could touch things, like literally touch things, take objects. And for me, this was amazing. At that time, I was creating a company, had spent a lot of time, a lot of money into it. I took off my headset, and literally in 10 seconds, I said, well, I need to leave everything I've done so far behind and get into that, because it's the only time in my life where I'm going to be able to be at the beginning of a technology that I believe is going to change the world. I literally felt I stepped into the future. Let me show you this moment. This was the wow moment. So this looks like nothing, but imagine you have a VR headset, so this means you're blind. You're catching a torch, you're throwing a torch, and someone else can catch it. This is pretty amazing, because from now you can see that you can project digital environments on the real world. All right, now a fast forward to Dreamscape. Steven Spielberg was filming or was preparing Ready Player One, And he asked his team to look in the real world, what were the companies that were developing that kind of technologies? So that's how he found us. And at the same time, we were at Sundance, and we met two people that became our co-founders. And actually, it happened that one of them ran DreamWorks with Spielberg for 15 years. And this is how Dreamscape was born. So for the last 6 years, I've learned a lot working in Hollywood. I've learned a lot also about how media works, how media can create buzz. I think that the metaverse is clearly one of the buzz. And I think it's more like a normal evolution of technology, but we need to have new things to focus on every year. And if you look at Hollywood, the movie that illustrates the best the metaverse is Ready Player One. And for the people here that have not seen it, I'm just going to show a short extract of this movie.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego, like Peter Parker or Bruce Banner. But he died when I was a kid, my mom too. And I ended up here. Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. A whole virtual universe. People come to the Oasis for all the things they can do. But they stay because of all the things they can be. Yeah. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. The Oasis was the brainchild of James Halliday.
Hello. If you're watching this, I'm dead. I created a hidden object, an Easter egg. The first person to find the egg will inherit $500 billion and total control of the Oasis itself.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him.
This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis, the world's most important economic resource.
It's nothing less than a war for control of the future.
Welcome to the rebellion, Wade.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight? Help us save the Oasis.
Pretty cool movie if you have not seen it. Now think about some of the iconic movies of Hollywood. 2001: Space Odyssey, RoboCop, Terminator, Ex Machina, Her, Truman Show. Well, all these movies and all the vision of Hollywood on our future is that technology controls our lives. It's not technology that is basically at the service of our lives. Is it the future we want? I don't really want to live in this world. But the good thing is that Hollywood works in black and white, and the real world is a bit more nuanced than that. So as with technological evolution, we're always afraid by new things. But think about our parents that told us, okay, don't watch television, you're going to become blind. Or we told our children that they should not play video games, they would become completely disconnected. I think at the end, we're finding the right model. But now, we have the same with the metaverse. And will Ready Player One become this new reality? I really hope not. This would be a pretty horrible world where we would be in this kind of like ghetto where people would Either like a happy few would be able to enjoy the real world, and then the masses would be into this like beautiful VR dreams that's completely disconnected from the reality. I think that technology can help shape the future and help shape a better future. So let's stop with the suspense, and I love this quote from Ready Player One. The secret sauce, I think, for the metaverse is a cocktail. And let me tell you why I think that. The real world basically has been shaped by millions of years of evolution, and the real world is perfect. Technology is something that we're developing quite recently, and it's imperfect. And I think that we shouldn't live in one or the two extreme, but we should try to combine the both in a beautiful cocktail. And I hope that Hollywood is going to be wrong about this vision of Ready Player One. But it just depends on us to take the right decision. At Dreamscape, this is our take of the metaverse.
Below us, there's a pod of whales that needs our help.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave.
The coolest VR experience ever.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
It was one of the coolest experiences ever.
It was freaking amazing.
I went into an alien zoo. Unbelievable.
So if you've never tried it, you can go to the Mall of the Emirates and you can try our entertainment part. But there's much more than entertainment to that. We're active, and actually our biggest verticals are in education or in training and simulation. And I think that if you can like really mix the real world with an augmented digital world, you can create a lot of amazing things. In our education fields, we realize that we can learn 4 times faster, and actually with 28% higher grades. So let's just try to take technology, take the good things of technology, but always remember that the real world is the best. Thank you.